How does Medicare work? What's the copay? What are my deductibles? How much is it going to cost me to go to the doctor? Well, this is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. I've been in the health insurance business for many years. Predates all of the managed care bull stuff, HMOs, PPOs, and so forth. And basically, I was in the health insurance business before there were copays. And I guess why I'm still amazed that people seem to think that they can't go to the doctor unless they have a copay. They can't fill a prescription unless they have a copay. And for most of the years, most of the time that I was in the under 65 health insurance market, as well as designing group insurance plans for employers, I hardly ever had suggested a copay plan. It was always a high deductible plan, at least what passed for high deductible. I mean, in the early days, a high deductible was $100, believe it or not. And then we went to $250 and then to $500, and people thought, well, I'll never satisfy a $500 deductible. But anyway, that's beside the point. Original Medicare is quite simple. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me before to do a video like this, because I get this question more often than I think I should be. People don't know how Medicare works. We're talking about original Medicare, not Advantage plans that do have copays and all this, and networks and all that kind of stuff. Original Medicare is very simple. Medicare Part A, that's the hospital portion, it has a deductible for 2020 of somewhere around $1,400 per admission. Medicare Part B, which is your outpatient health care, for 2020 has a deductible of $198. That's a calendar year, not a per admission or per occurrence or per illness or anything like that. After the deductible for Part B is satisfied, Medicare pays 80%. The other 20% falls to you unless you have a Medicare supplement plan. The same is true for that hospital deductible of $1,400 per admission. Most of the Medigap plans out there will cover that for you. So basically, a trip to the hospital as an inpatient, you should have nothing out of pocket in most cases for hospital inpatient visits. Outpatient's a different story. And because there's a $198 deductible, which the G plan, which is the current most comprehensive plan out there, Medicare supplement plan. And remember, Medicare supplement, Medigap, interchangeable terms. But currently, the G plan does not pay that Medicare Part B deductible. That means you pay for it. And so that means people ask me, that means the first time I go to the doctor, I've got to pay $198? Probably not. And the other thing is they think that they have to pay something when they go to the doctor. Well, you don't. You don't pay anything until the claim has been submitted to Medicare, has been adjudicated and approved by them. That's only when you know if you actually have any liability, because sometimes they may submit claims that Medicare denies, in which case, most of the time you don't owe it. There's some special situations. Give me a call if you want to ask about it. We'll talk about it. But for the most part, if a claim is submitted to Medicare and it's denied by Medicare, you don't owe the claim. I mean, that's pretty simple. And people also want to know, well, with all these moving parts, well, there's only one moving part, and that's the deductible. And it may take you 2 or 3 visits. It may take you 5 or 6 visits, like it did me a few years ago. Or you may satisfy it in one visit, but that would be highly unusual for you to satisfy a $198 deductible in one visit. It can happen, but it's highly unusual. They want to know, well, do I file claims? Am I going to be getting checks from Medicare and checks from the Medigap carrier? And the answer to that is no. It's all very seamless. It's behind the scenes. You go to you go to the doctor files with Medicare adjudicates the claim. They send it on to your Medicare supplement carrier. When it gets to the Medicare supplement carrier, the claim is already pre-approved, pre-adjudicated, and the supplement carrier knows what they are supposed to pay. So it's all very seamless. Now, this whole process, even on a routine claim, you go to the doctor today, it's probably not going to get to Medicare for a week. It'll rumble around in the halls of Medicare for probably 3 weeks or so before somebody finally gets around to adjudicating it. And if they owe something, then they'll send out a check. So it's going to be about a month before your doctor gets anything at all from Medicare. But once they adjudicate and approve the claim, they send it on to your Medigap carrier. It goes to them. Medigap carrier, there's not a second adjudication process. It's already pre-approved. They know what they owe. So they don't get to say, we don't think Medicare should have approved this. Lo and behold, I can't believe they left this much on the table and There's no second process. They cut a check usually within 2 to 3 business days once it comes into their system. All this is done electronically. There's no paperwork going to you or back and forth and so forth. Well, you get paperwork after the fact in the form of an MSN, that's a Medicare Summary Notice, or an EOB, that's Explanation of Benefits. You'll get those in the mail, except most the EOB comes from the Medigap carrier. Except you also have the ability to go online with Medicare and with a number of the Medigap carriers and see your EOB and track the process of it. But the bottom line is you don't pay anything when you go to the doctor, or when you have lab work, or when you have, whatever. Anything other than a prescription drug. That's the one thing that you do pay on the spot. You give them your drug card, and the druggist keys in the information, says your copay's, $3,262. How would you like to pay, cash or check? But as far as the as far as the regular Medicare is concerned, A and B, again, B is outpatient, doctor visits, labs, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, emergency room, ambulance, and all those other outpatient healthcare items. But you don't pay anything at all, until after the claim has been submitted to Medicare and to your Medicare supplement carrier. Then, and only then, will you pay whatever bill is presented to you by your doctor or your lab or whoever the medical provider is. That's the first time that you get out your checkbook or your credit card to pay online. You don't pay anything before that. Nothing at all. So, get over this mindset that you have to pay something every time you go to the doctor, and that you have to pay a copay. And this is the world of no copays. This is the world of no networks. You can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. This is the world of no pre-approval. Okay? It's a very simple process. So, I think I'm going to be doing more videos on how Medicare works, but this will be enough for right now. This will get you started. This is Bob Vineyard, your Medicare expert with the Georgia Medicare Minute. You take care. Have a great day.